Welcome back to another Explainer. Today, we're unpacking Claudia D. Reid's profoundly moving novel, Maggie and Dave in the Multiverse. We're going to focus specifically on the anatomy of healing and, honestly, the beautiful, but sometimes terrifying, discovery of healthy love. If you've ever felt like you had to literally shrink yourself just to be loved, well, this analysis is absolutely going to resonate with you.
So let's dive right into this incredible story by starting with a really powerful quote. Healing isn't return to who you were. It's the discovery of who you've become. This line right here, it's basically the emotional engine for our entire exploration today, because it completely reframes how we look at trauma. It's not about going backward or, trying to rewind the clock. It's about moving forward and meeting a brand new version of yourself.
In this Explainer, we're going on a deeply personal journey with the novel's protagonist, Maggie. We get to watch her transition from merely surviving a chaotic past to purposefully claiming her future. It's such an intimate exploration of processing trauma, the really hard work of setting boundaries, and, quite literally, authoring a brand new life for herself.
To truly appreciate her incredible journey, we have to establish the baseline of Maggie's trauma. Section 1. Leaving the wreckage behind.
Maggie is stepping out of what she describes as a toxic wildfire. Her chaotic relationship with her ex, a guy named Reacher, and this was the kind of love that leaves deep, deep scars. It was a reckless devotion that she had to escape from just to survive. Even months after he walked away, she's left bruised, trying to navigate a life that feels kinda half-empty and half-rebuilt. But then, her environment dramatically changes.
Section 2. A different kind of safe.
There is such a stark contrast here. On one side, we have love as complete chaos, represented by the emotional landmines she was constantly dodging with Reacher. But on the other side, we have love as a safe harbor, embodied by her publisher and friend, Dave Yamagishi. The beauty of her dynamic with Dave is its steady, unconditional safety. With Dave, Maggie doesn't have to perform. She doesn't have to apologize for her rebuilding process, and most importantly, she doesn't have to shrink herself to fit inside his life. Eventually, Maggie actually moves into a quiet apartment with Dave, and together, they build this sanctuary where she can finally just exhale, As they share these simple, grounding, everyday rituals, brewing morning coffee, cooking dinner, or just sitting in comfortable silence while she writes, she realizes something profound. She's no longer bracing for impact. She's not waiting for the other shoe to drop. The quiet doesn't hurt her anymore. It actually heals her. And that crucial point is captured beautifully in this realization from Dave. He says, love isn't supposed to break you. It's supposed to hold you while you heal. Notice that Dave isn't trying to fix Maggie, right? He isn't treating her like some project or trying to erase her history. He is simply giving her the unconditional space, patience, and steadiness she needs to heal herself. He's that soft place to land. Which brings us to the actual process of getting better. Section 3, the quiet work of becoming. Because as Claudia Reid's book shows us so effectively, healing isn't some sudden magical fix. It's a daily, non-linear practice.
Let's look at how this builds across the narrative through the quiet milestones of Maggie's healing journey. It starts with setting firm boundaries, like refusing to perform for her family's approval at this really tense lasagna dinner where she used to just feel like a disappointment. It's allowing herself the grace to actually rest without feeling guilty. It's walking into a boutique and buying a simple silver necklace just for herself because she realizes she deserves to want things. Every single one of these are active, intentional steps of Maggie choosing herself over the expectations of everyone else.
And then comes the ultimate test of her progress. Out of nowhere, after a year of total silence, Reacher sends her a text message. But instead of that old familiar pull, instead of the frantic energy she used to feel, Maggie feels completely free. When the ghosts of the past whisper, Maggie realizes she no longer needs their validation to feel alive. She sends a firm but peaceful reply, sets down her phone, and steps right back into her life with Dave. Which brings us to a massively important takeaway. Closure doesn't come from the person who hurt you, it comes from the person you become after the hurt. This is exactly why this story matters so much for all of us. True closure? It's a completely internal achievement. You do not need an apology or an explanation from the people who caused your pain to move forward. You just need to build a new version of yourself. As Maggie heals internally, she also begins to reclaim her external narrative. Section 4, Finding Voice Through Writing. Maggie's literal act of writing her book perfectly mirrors her figurative act of authoring her new life. Following her ascent, we see this beautiful progression. She starts by drafting a raw, honest manuscript. She's no longer writing around her pain, she's bravely writing through it. Then comes this incredible validation. An essay she wrote gets accepted by a literary magazine. And that visibility leads to a deeply touching email from a reader who actually felt seen by her words. Finally, she steps onto a stage, triumphantly speaking on a literary panel. We really see how stepping into the light transforms her pain from this isolating wound into a powerful bridge that connects her to other people.
Let's look a little closer at that literary conference. Despite her initial terror of the microphone and just being up on that stage, Maggie stands in front of that audience. She looks out and realizes she's no longer writing just to survive. She's writing to be seen and to help others realize that they can survive too. Her story connects rather than isolates. Her pain has literally become her purpose.
As she notes in her journey, this is the moment I stop surviving my story and start speaking it. That is the ultimate reclamation of her narrative, right? She's taking everything that once broke her and using it to forge an unbreakable, beautiful future. She is finally, truly, authoring the life she chooses.
Now let's pull back the curtain for a minute and look at the real-world author who crafted this magnificent multiverse. Section 5. Claudia Reid's Expanding Universe.
Claudia D. Reid is the brilliant architect behind these profound stories. She is an absolute master creator of character-driven dramas that are just so deeply rooted in truth, community, and identity.
And her literary universe is vast and highly accomplished. Beyond Maggie and Dave, Reid's expanding portfolio includes completed series like Queen's Village, Blood on the Deeds, and The Crusty Crucifixion. She's also the author of Taste of Her Name, which is this captivating, raw, 30-day journalized love story exploring an intimate romance between an ex-Marine named Roman West and Claudia Reid set in Queens, New York. And what's really thrilling to note is that these gripping books are actively evolving into scripts for the screen, expanding this entire multiverse even further.
And the best part? You can explore this incredible literary presence right now. Works like Maggie and Dave in the Multiverse are available on platforms like Google Books. It's just a fantastic way to experience the real-world payoff of these fictional journeys and dive into Reid's world of raw emotion and resilient characters for yourself. So, as we wrap up this explainer, I want to leave you with one final, provocative thought. Are you ready to stop surviving your story and start authoring the life you choose? What part of your past do you need to leave behind to finally discover who you are meant to become? Thank you so much for learning with me today. Keep asking those hard questions and keep writing your own beautiful story.